So who is Ethan Bayless? Well, that's exactly what you're going to learn within this video, and I implore you to stay until the end, as there will be nuggets of information that are applicable to your situation as of right now. So I started at McDonald's, minimum wage and smelling of fry oil after every single shift. Literally would have to get home and take a shower because I just had so much grease inside my hair and was just smelling and reeking of oil and burger grease and fryer fat and everything that you can imagine that you find within a McDonald's. And while lifting those fries, I told myself that this cannot be it. I can't be another guy living a small, predictable life. But at the same time, that's exactly where I was headed. So I did the right thing. I went ahead and finished my A-levels. And for those of you who are outside the UK, A-levels is essentially the equivalent of college. And after finishing my A-levels, I got a safe job as a software developer. Now on paper, it looked perfect. A respectable career just after college. My parents were proud of me. A path that made sense. But every morning under those fluorescent lights that you get in an office, within literally a sealed off rooms, there wasn't even any sunlight. It was just under these beaming fluorescent lights. I'd be getting there at 6 a.m. after a 1-hour commute every single morning. I felt dead inside. Like I was slowly being buried alive with each day that I got up and got my ass into that office to just work for a paycheck at the end of the month. And it was so bad. I'm sure so many of you can just relate to this, but just waking up every morning to an alarm clock, having that commute into work, having the whole day at work and going home and repeating that day in, day out, you just feel like there's got to be something more. You feel like you're just stuck in a life which isn't the life that you actually want. Like you want to build something else. You see these other people living the life that you want. Meanwhile, you're stuck waking up, working your ass off for a pathetic salary, and you just get fed up. And I got to that point of desperation, and that's when 5 years ago I went ahead and one night, desperate, I typed into Google how to make money online, and that search has been the spark, and it's pretty much directed my entire life ever since that one moment. Because I saw people building businesses, and back then it was mainly people talking about this via blogs. Because my world expanded, I realized there was so much possibility and potential of what I could actually do in this world. There was people building businesses online, there was people running blogs, people running stores, people creating freedom for themselves. And for the first time in a while, I actually had a sort of glimmer of hope inside me, thinking that maybe there's a way out of this life of just waking up and being within that corporate grind. So I was super excited about this, and I had this energy inside me, and I wanted to tell people about my aspirations and dreams. As you do, I just kind of wanted to share it with the people who I cared about around me. So I started telling people who were closest to me, and unfortunately they didn't believe. I remember so clearly telling my girlfriend while I was out on a walk, saying that I'm gonna build a business online, I'm gonna go ahead and quit my job. I'm just not happy doing what I'm doing, and I feel like I can achieve more with my life. And I will never forget the look in her eyes. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even laughter. It was just a cold doubt within her eyes, like she just knew inside that I couldn't do it. And my family was the same. Every time I would be speaking about my ideas at the dinner table, it was there, that undertone of just disbelief within me. There was this sense of skepticism, like they'd already written my future for me and just knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that. And deep down it hurt. And I reflected back lots of times on why I feel like this hurt so much. And I feel like it's because there was a part of me which believed them. There was a part of me which thought that they were right, that I wasn't going to be able to do it. But still, I didn't let that stop me. If anything, I allowed that to fuel me. The anger that I had from the disbelief in the people who were closest around me led to this unrelenting fuel and ambition to prove them all wrong. So I went ahead and I jumped into online business. Now, after I typed in how to make money online, one of the first things that came up was this finance blog. It was from a guy called Adam Enfroy, and in this blog he was talking about how he was making like £70,000 or dollars every single month, and literally from just writing this blog on his finance blog and literally just running these affiliate links and getting search traffic and advertising, and he was making that much money a month. So I thought, what the hell, let me give it a try. If he can do it, I can go ahead and give it a shot and try and start my own finance blog. And I soon realized that I didn't have the right systems in order to be able to get the finance blog to be running successfully. And in addition to that, in order to get a blog to that point of being successful, you need to be writing consistent posts daily for years and years on end. I wrote daily blog posts every night after work for 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months I literally only had like 2 or 3 people who had checked out my blog. And I tried everything. I tried optimizing my articles to get more traffic from Google, all of these sort of things, and I just realized that I just hadn't been doing it for long enough, that I'd have to be doing this for years and years and years and years in order to see a little bit of money from it. So I realized that this wasn't the best opportunity vehicle for me, and again I went back to the drawing board and I realized there must be something out there which you can make money quicker. So after that I launched an Amazon FBA website. Now I'm pretty sure that I've still got stock sitting somewhere in an Amazon warehouse, because I went ahead and I bought a bunch of these sort of fans that were portable, and they were good for the summertime as you'd be able to just kind of carry them around with you. And I did all the product research that all these YouTube gurus taught me. We're going ahead and going through the motion of buying this product, finding the price match, going ahead, getting the unique codes in order to store it in an Amazon warehouse. And then again, something I didn't realize was that it was actually quite expensive starting at Amazon FBA. I was spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars before I'd even made a single penny from the Amazon FBA. And then once I had my stock in the warehouse and all these fees paid, guess what? I didn't get any sales, and there was nothing I could do. I was completely powerless to the Amazon gods, praying that they're going to bump up my listing. Even though there were so many other listings on there, I realized that I was just too late to the game when it came to Amazon FBA. So I went back to the drawing board and I realized I need something that makes money quick, and I also need something where I don't need to invest a ton of money to actually test it out. So I decided to go ahead and start a YouTube automation business. So I went ahead and I made one of these raindrop channels, and if you just go on YouTube and you type in raindrops, you're going to see all these channels where they have like raindrop ASMR and they have a bunch of views. I thought I'd be able to just make these videos, publish them, and I would go ahead and get paid when people go ahead and watch and click on it. But it turns out that you can't actually monetize those videos. So I wasted months and months building all these raindrop videos only to find out that you can monetize it. So I realized again, there's too many issues. It was too complicated. It would take too long again, bringing me back to my first point on why I failed with the blog. And in addition to that, you didn't have guaranteed income because YouTube can just control whether they monetize your content or not. So I went back to the drawing board again, and this time I decided to do dropshipping. Now dropshipping on paper, it looked perfect. I realized that I didn't need that much money up front, that I could literally just go ahead and sell and then fulfill after selling the product that I'm offering. And it was something that I could go ahead and make money with quick, as well as I could do paid advertising to get tons of traffic and sell and then make a profit on that traffic. And with Shopify and all that sort of stuff, it is pretty easy to set up as well. And there was guaranteed income because it's something that I was selling on a store that I control. So I tried a bunch of different products. I drop shipped blue light blocking glasses. I drop shipped bike lights. I drop shipped pet products. You name it, I drop shipped it. And eventually I found some success with drop shipping men's designer wear. So certain like design jewelry pieces that I would go ahead and drop ship. And I scaled this Shopify store up to $50,000 a month. And I know what you're thinking, $50,000 a month, wow, that's a shit ton of money that I made with a dropshipping store. Why didn't I just stay at that? But the truth is that I had that $50,000 Shopify dashboard. I'm gonna go ahead and put a screenshot up here so you can see the store that I had along with the actual £50,000 dropshipping dashboard. But the truth was that none of that was profit. And this is something that most people don't tell you when they're talking about businesses and opportunities to get stuck in and involved in, is that with dropshipping, there was no profit there. All my money was going on the purchasing of the product. It was going on the running of the ads. It was going on the customer service. It was going on the refunds that I'd get, the chargebacks, the faulty fraud claims in terms of people would go ahead and buy a product and then they'd claim that they didn't receive it. So you'd have to fork out your own money. The tech costs, you name it, there was just so many costs. The shipping costs, like there is a ridiculous number of costs with running a drop shipping store. So I was running a £50,000 a month store, but I was making zero. a month. And trust me, I tried raising my prices. I tried all the stuff to kind of make it so I'd be a little bit profitable. But even after doing all that, I was probably getting like 1% profit, and it just was not worth it, because running a $50,000 store on Shopify is stressful. Dealing with all this inventory flying out and all these problems arising to literally make £500 a month just was not worth it. So I realized that I wasn't looking for something which required product and in real life business, because that's what dropshipping essentially is. It's an in real life business. I was looking for something that was completely digital, but again, I was looking for something that I could go ahead and build up quick and start making money very fast doing it. And I was also looking for something that I'd be in control of as well, and something that didn't have a ridiculous amount of competition either. And let me tell you, throughout this time, every single failure that I experienced was just added weight to the voices around me of my family and my ex-girlfriend. It's not for you, you can't do it. I had this repeating in my head over and over again with each and every failure. And I started to wonder if maybe they were right. Maybe I was delusional. So then after looking at my criteria, I was going ahead and searching another sort of business to try. And that's when I came across a guy called Iman Gadzi. You may have heard of him before, but he was talking about running an agency, and he talks about the pros of it compared to these other business models, in terms of the fact that there wasn't any product, that you could go ahead and scale up fast, that you could actually control it, and that you could charge lots of money, and that the fact that you didn't have to have too much ongoing costs, and you actually had high profitability running an agency. So I got hooked, and I decided that I was going to start an SEO agency. And if you don't know what SEO is, it stands for search engine optimization, essentially helping people rank on Google. And for the first time, I made real money. I was making 6 figures a year, and I was able to quit my job, and I felt like I'd made it. But let me tell you something, success without alignment is just another cage. Because the thing with SEO was that I was in an industry where there had been people there who was old as the dawn of time. I was competing against massive conglomerates, massive companies who were able to have hundreds and thousands of staff, and they were able to offer services for cheap. I was trying to sell SEO, which with SEO it takes a long while to get results. So I was trying to sell someone on results that they'd see in a year time, and barely any people were willing to wait a year to get results. And I was dealing with endless headache from dealing with a bunch of clients, having over 15 clients with my SEO business, and it was only making £8,000 a month in revenue, and the profit was only 50%. The clients, the selling, the trying to deliver it, hiring people on Fiverr to deliver the sort of service, and just not getting what I was looking for in terms of service delivery, and having these frustrated clients, I was drowning. Burnt out, stressed, headaches every day, could literally feel my health declining in real time, until finally I decided to shut it down. And that's when I hit my lowest point. Because before that failure, I had this goal and this dream in mind, and I was working to achieve this goal and dream. And then once I thought that I achieved this goal and dream with the SEO agency, and then the reality of it was glim and pretty bleak, I then realized that the goal that I've been chasing for years and years wasn't even something that I was looking for. It goes back to the saying that the grass always looks green on the other side. And that's why I thought maybe I was just chasing the wrong thing this entire time. And I was just having these racing thoughts that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough in order to handle this like other people do. Maybe I don't have the work ethic. Maybe I don't have the stress tolerance. And this is the point that most people just don't see. The point where you don't just doubt the business, you doubt yourself and whether you're able to achieve the sort of life that you want. That all those looks and all that doubt from people I loved, they had been right all along. And it was at this point that I was literally ready to wash my hands and just forget about online business. I was ready to go back to my job and just stick with that, stick with the normal path, and just work day in, day out, and just live for the weekend. And at my lowest point, I then had, out of nowhere, a friend of mine reach out. And she reached out and she said that she's making a couple of grand on OnlyFans, that she knows that I had experience when it came to marketing and sales, that I've run a few businesses, and she was basically asking for some help as she didn't have a clue on about anything when it came to marketing and sales. And she said to me, "Do you think you could help me make more?" And looking back, I didn't know it then, but this was the complete turning point within my life. But obviously, as I didn't know it back then, then I was kind of looking at the business. I was thinking, you know what, I've kind of washed my hands of all online business. I don't really know if this is something that I want to go ahead and jump back into again. And especially in regards to OnlyFans, I don't really know about it, and I've heard lots of rumors and stuff around it. And she said, no what, it's fine, just give a think about it, take a look at it, and if it's something you want to do, let me know. I'm willing to offer you 50% of how much money I'm making if you can go ahead and help me grow my OnlyFans page. So I went ahead and I took a look at the OnlyFans business model. I looked at it objectively. I got rid of all emotion. I looked at the facts and the logic around it. And that's when I had my light bulb moment. I realized that everything that I've been looking for in an online business was presenting itself right here, right now. At my lowest point, I had someone reach out to me and show me the exact business that I needed in order to make money. It had everything. It had no inventory. It was completely online. No shipping, no product cost, cheap marketing, barely any staff needed, easy scalability. It had everything. It is a business model where you can print a ridiculous amount of cash month after month. You can make $50,000 a month with just one girl running it. There is no other business like that out there. I'm trying to tell you guys that it's insane and people are willing to just kind of gloss over it. But if you look at it from the objective truth of what the business model actually is, you can see that it's actually a goldmine. Because when I applied everything that I've learned from all of those failures, funnels, copy, systems, retention, it worked. In weeks, she went from a couple of grand a month to $20,000 a month. And I felt like during this time I barely did anything. And it was just insane to watch the numbers just scale up month after month. And in that moment, I realized something that was truly life-changing. It was never me that was broken. It was the game that I was playing. Because you need to find a business which has low competition. Now, after collecting my money from scaling up my friend and her being really happy with what I've done for her, and me being really happy with me making a ton of money while doing barely any work, I realized that I could turn this into a system. I realized that I could turn this into an agency and I could do this for multiple other models. And chances are, if this girl reached out to me with this problem, that there were lots and lots of other models who had the exact same problem who I could help. And at the time, this was over 4 years ago, and I was typing it online and literally no one was talking about this. And that's when I founded Altrust. I built recruitment systems, I built onboarding systems, I built management systems, I built promotional systems. I turned the process of attracting and scaling OnlyFans models into a science. I mastered that craft. We signed models, we scaled fast, and for the first time in years, the grind didn't feel like chains. It felt like I was buying myself more freedom. And that's when something unexpected happened. Initially, I started this YouTube channel. If you look at the older videos, I was creating videos trying to target OnlyFans models. I thought, if I can make some YouTube educational content, then I would get some OnlyFans models who would come to me and want to go ahead and work in my agency. So I was seeing it as a way to expand upon my model recruitment system. But I didn't have OnlyFans models reach out to me for my YouTube content. I had guys who were just like my past self reaching out to me, asking how I did it. And I had a guy called Fabian. He reached out to me via email, essentially asking whether I'd be up for mentoring him. He's trying to do the exact same business, and if I could show him the ropes, he was willing to pay me a fair bit of money. So I literally said, what the hell? I had no program or anything. It was literally me hopping on a call with him, just going through stuff like his offer, stuff like his website, going ahead showcasing the systems that I used, and he was just taking notes the whole time. And within weeks, he was making $10,000 a month. And that's when OnlyFans Millions was born. Not as a course, not as some sort of cash grab, but as a standard, a blueprint, a movement, something for my former self to help you escape the life that you're currently stuck in and achieve the life that you want. Because I know how bad it is. I feel your pain because I experienced that exact same pain. It is torment, and if I can help just a few of you out there realize what you're actually truly capable of and build some systems that are going to help set you up to do what you want in life and just have that freedom and not be confined to chains, then I generally get a lot of fulfillment out of that. Because I certainly had people who helped me in those times, and I will always remember them. I'll always be appreciative of them. I had mentors in the agency space, not particularly around OnlyFans management, but I had mentors who helped me understand stuff around how to get clients, and I'll always be grateful for them, as particularly what they told me and how they literally helped me in my darkest moments. And honestly, looking back at the fryer in McDonald's, the fluorescent office lights, the failed stores, the agency burnout, the doubt in my girlfriend's eyes, the disbelief in my family's voices, it all makes sense now, because the truth is simple. Pick the right game, build the right systems, work with the right people. That's it. That's the source that you need in order to change your life. That's how I escaped the life that people thought I was destined for, and that's how you can too.